G'day, welcome to part 2 of the eyes. The date is the 26th of the 2nd, 2017. It's some, I don't know, 16-17 months since the original footage of the eyes was actually taken. It's been probably 4 or 5 weeks since I uploaded the first video. The reason I have taken so long is because I temporarily lost the footage that we took of some of our investigating that we did the following day. Fortunately I found it, so we're going to take a look at some of that footage now. Okay, it's the next morning. Hasn't rained last night. We've already been down the riverbank. We've had a look at the footprint, it's still there, so we're going to go and see if we can take a plaster cast of it. Just sweeping around, we had the car parked up there last night and we drove down over to this point here. And just pan around this way, Keith. We saw the eyes up over there. And also down in those trees just over there. So now we're just going to come down and we're going to film. Okay, so just walking down on the riverbank now. And you see there's lots of trails through here, mostly probably what our dog made, but I'm suspecting it's probably a bit more than that. So right down here there's a massive drop off, there's the river. We're just going down to the edge of the river here, there's paths here, tracks. There's a track that finishes right here, which I'm really doubtful our dog made. Now this is about a 2 to 3 metre drop down there. You can see that indentation there? That there is what we think is a footprint. I'm going to take a plaster cast of that. That's definitely something's trod there, something big. I mean, what else is going to stand there? Anything that big is going to be a cow. So there's no cows down here. Our sheep don't go down here, sort of sheep print. There's other marks and stuff through here too, but there's no way a sheep and a cow is going to get down there. It's all, the only way to get out of that little section there is to actually climb out via the roots of the trees, either up there or right here where I'm standing. So I've just poured the plaster. Just use a bit of base coat, put that up in the shed. We don't have any plaster of Paris. But look, it's pretty crude. Like I said, there's not a great deal of indentation for the toes, but the heel's very deep. And you can see that it is in the shape of a foot. So let's see how it comes out. I might not see much at all, but... Who? Yeah. I'm coming up now. Can you come and get this last bit of stuff, Key? Alright. So, I'll come back a little bit later on the Savo and see what we get. I'm going to climb out there now. And, so we're just down at the bank. We're about to check the cast of the feet. And we've just discovered this other print, which is... It's a lot clearer when you're actually here, but it's strangely mysterious. You can sort of see it. We've got what looks like toe prints. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. They're basically 5 deep depressions, all in the shape of a sort of the arc of a foot. And this is on a slope here, so you can imagine whoever's climbing up the slope is actually digging their toes in to climb it. It looks like Keeg's found a little bit more there. There's all these tracks through here which I don't think Molly would be able, our dog would be able to make. So, I'm not sure whether that is a footprint, but I tell you it looks remarkably like one, and a very big one at that. Okay, we're just in the neighbour's property. Didn't really ask their permission, but it should be alright. Looking back in that direction to our block, that's where the car was parked last night looking straight down here, so approximately at the point where we saw the eyes. Now there's a massive big sort of depression here around this tree, so it could have been standing anywhere from about there over to there. We've got to check the video again, but even if it was standing down there, we saw it above the tops of those lantana bushes, so whatever it was, you know, it was big. And yep, I got no other explanation as to what those eyes could have come from. Just an example of one of these footprints, or what looks like footprints in these dry sands. There's deep depression here. This is soft sand here, and the foot sort of shape goes from there up to the little toe there to what would be the big toe there, back down to the inside of the arch, back to the heel. This one's not quite as big as the one that we saw in our banks, probably about the size of my foot, maybe a little bit bigger, size 13, 14, but still big nonetheless. Okay, that's looking back at the footprint. We've just sort of discussed a theory. We reckon this may be where, if it was a Yowie was standing, if he was standing on that footprint and leaning forward, he'd be looking just around that tree, looking across the top of that lantana bush right at where we were filming, which would make perfect sense if the creature we're dealing with is 7+ foot tall. He'd be looking straight over the top of that lantana. We would have seen the eyes easily, and it's about exactly the position that we think we saw the eyes last night. We're going to go back and confirm it on the video. Kids are going up there searching a bit more, see if we find some more tracks, but we probably shouldn't stay on the neighbour's property for too much longer. Outline that foot there, just point to the heel. Heel, yep, and then show me the shape. So up to where, so where's the big toe? Yep, okay, and across to the little toe. No, down a bit further, I think, yeah. So just sort of put your foot next to it. Yeah, so that's another one of these sort of footprints that we've seen in the sand, which look remarkably like feet.
Double the size. Can you put your foot?
Problems with sand, it doesn't really leave a distinctive print. It's definitely bigger than Keegan's foot. We'll find multiple prints like this, and it's consistent with about the size of the foot we saw on our bank. And this is the perfect bank on our neighbour's property. There's that bank there. There's a huge drop off to the river where there's a path. So no one looking from up top would be able to see anything down here. So I reckon it could possibly spend most of its time here at night.